Reich, the Secretary of Labor in the Clinton administration. Reich took the...
A country like Vietnam, for the first time, recognizes labor rights, and those are enforceable. That's a big deal. It doesn't...
Cost of the labor. And we also...
The happier their labor force is, they have lower job turnover. Expressed as the labor, the search, the curiosity seeking to satiate.
Which means either labor markets need to change or the policies and programs.
You can rely on a fragile labor force to be delivering exploited.
So they owned all the executive decisions, and without making any ethical statement, labor was free and disposable.
Traveler from the other side of the world is drinking the fruit of their labor that has been produced on that farm by that, so they can inject a lot of young labor into their geriatric workforce. You know, business leaders.
Earlier, the labor participation rates for women, the gender pay gap, our economy.
Saying, hey, look it, you've got a problem with labor. You're short on manufacturing.
Worked hard labor someplace. They were working on a...
The division of labor strongly attenuates, if not eliminates, any effects caused by bound. % of their calories per person with just 20 hours of labor annually.
Business was very labor intensive. I was a good salesman.
Festival over Labor Day weekend on September the 5th at the Walter E.
We wanted to transform the labor values into prices. Now that was received with...
Should be, conscripted into forced labor. I mean, we've done some really...
And say that is not an accurate indicator of the overall health of the labor market. Maybe you think it is, maybe you think it's not.
And talking about what unites us, and that Reagan, the Democratic Labor Union Reagan, not just the Republican President Reagan.
But because of the price of labor and the price of materials,
it makes it easier for them to, to remain in the labor force. So the sort of classic concern that marriage was a kind of a patriarchal institution.
Enjoying all the fruits of our labor. And that resonated with people.
Veterans Affairs, correct?
Correct. And Industry, Business, and Labor.
Mm-hmm. And you're vice chair of IBM.
At a young age, I learned that manual labor really sucks. Right? Like cutting lawns is brutal.
Size, it's it's a labor issue as well, but the main thing is it's a quality of life.
Some of the burden of the corporate tax onto labor. The second thing is, of course,
millions more were broken in the same system of prisons and labor camps. Yet millions more emigrated, left the country.
Labor and inward investment. So we wondered, what would...
The introduction of electricity, division of labor, assembly lines in factories. The third was automation.
As a movement, it was started as a labor of love and a labor of your soul. Absolutely. And
otherwise, other than that, it's all been a labor of love by hundreds of people around the country.
So it's pretty...
The effects of changing technology on labor markets of lower skilled workers will likely...
His office to try to settle a labor dispute. And in the end, it worked. Point where they could begin to see the possibility of joining the formal labor